Hey guys, it's Vandy. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm bringing you along outside to plant all sorts of goodies in my backyard. Mainly we're focusing on blackberries, blueberries, maybe asparagus, and maybe planting some leafy greens. I've got all sorts of things to get in my garden, but can only do so much in a day, so we'll see how far we get. Let's go. So I'm gonna kind of give you an idea of where everything is in my yard. So right over here, with this open green grass area, we're probably gonna have, not probably, we're gonna be rebuilding a greenhouse there. We are still in the process of tearing it down at my parents' house. And then here, it's so sunny out, I can't tell. And right here is our garden beds. And then over here in the shady patch, I was thinking about putting the azalea here. And of course, so there's my garden. And there's my girls, my chickens. And we're gonna be planting blueberries along the fence right here. So we already have a blueberry bush there. And an itty bitty one right here. But my mom and I went to Walmart and they had blueberry bushes, or well, blueberry starts, I guess, for $6.97. How could I resist, right? So we're gonna give that a whirl. When these are dormant, I'm gonna try propagating my own. We have the root growth hormone, so I'm gonna give that a whirl. But for now, I'm gonna stick with this. I bought 3 of them. So I'm gonna put one in the middle of my current bushes that I have, and then plant the other 2 right beside there. All right, let's get to work. Also, before I get started, I want to mention real quick that blueberries and blackberries, which we're planting both today, it's very important to make sure that you have well draining soil, and we have clay soil and we're new here, we're still working on it. So today I'm going to be using a compost, manure, topsoil mixture. I mixed it all together already. So I'm going to mix it in with some of the dirt that I'm pulling out of the ground. But mainly I'm going to use the new mixture just so I know that there's some loose soil in there for it, because this ground is pretty hard. Here I'm taking the blueberries out of their packaging. It was really weird. The plant roots, they seem to be wrapped in a newspaper and like soil roll. And you tear off out of the newspaper. At least that's what I'm assuming. According to the instructions that were on the bag, they were kind of vague, but I think that's what they meant. Anyways, one of them was a pulp mix, like a wood pulp mix. And I found it really odd that they were different, because the other 2 were actually like soil. I don't know. I was questioning if I was doing something wrong or if I'd purchased the wrong type of bush, but it was the same type, so I'm not really sure. Maybe the company's testing which medium is a better shipping and planting substance. Who knows? Anyways. Blueberries like to be in full sun, but can also have some shade. A good thing to know, really acidic soil. So to plant my blueberries, I dug holes a few inches deeper than the roots were, and then I backfilled it with some soil compost mix, so the roots had some area that was loose to grow into, because our dirt here, like I said, it's kind of a clay material, and it's pretty hard, so I wanted to make sure, one, they had some easier area to grow, and then also to help their drainage. If you have a similar issue, peat moss is a great addition to add into your soil and compost mix. Like if you have a hard soil in your yard, it not only helps the texture to like fluff up your mix to help the drainage, but it also adds some acidity as well. I'm really interested in getting one of those soil test kits I keep seeing everywhere lately. It would be interesting to know what type of amendments I need to make to the different areas in my yard to help promote, the fullest, healthiest plants that I can. Of course, they do what I think they need. It would be nice to know for sure what they need. I need to take some time to look what my options are with those test kits. If any of you have used a soil test kit company, I'd love it if you drop a comment below and tell me about your experience, because I'm looking into that. Okay, so back to planting. After filling the holes back in with the plants, I watered them well. Blueberries need moderate watering. You definitely don't want to overwater them because it can cause root rot, but maybe like once a week, or if you're in a really hot climate, a couple times a week. Just keep an eye on it. Look at what your plant looks like. So I will be adding mulch around everything I planted today. I was waiting to buy mulch from a nursery, but I found out specifically for azaleas and blueberries, they really like acidity. So I have some free mulch. We can use our sawdust to mulch them. Other good options would be pine needles. We happen to have a good amount of sawdust right now thanks to our home projects. Anyways, needless to say, after planting blueberries, it's a good idea to mulch around them just to help retain the moisture. And then also, I'll be fertilizing them later with some Job's organic fruit and citrus fertilizer. If you don't have that, just an all-purpose fertilizer would do as well. After they're done fruiting for the season is when I'll go ahead and prune back the bushes because that encourages new growth. So we have our blueberries done. We have some odd potholes in our yard, so I'm going to use this to try to fill them. And if you are wondering, not sure if you guys could see this from over there, but we have some kind of critter we're trying to catch. It is digging up holes all around our chicken coop. Last night, we set the trap. We came out this morning and it had eaten everything, but yet it escaped. So I'm wondering if it was either too big for the trap or too small.
It's very small.
It's really small?
Yeah, it fits in there.
It fits right in there, huh?
Yeah, I put some food in there for them.
You put some food in for the little animal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna check it in the morning with Mommy?
Yeah.
You wanna plant our flower bush, the azalea?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, let's go. Well, friends, I wasn't recording. I was telling you about azaleas. This is what we're planting. So azaleas, at least according to what I read online, they need to be in partial shade. If they're in too much shade, they won't create a bloom. And if they're in too much sun and too hot, they'll bloom and then their flowers will wilt and drop off quickly. So we're hoping this is the sweet spot right here. I was commenting that this is so much easier to dig than in Arizona. In Arizona, we had to use a pickaxe to dig holes. So similar to blueberries, azaleas like acidic soil. So the same tips apply here with the use of peat moss for helping drainage issues. And then for the mulch, again, you can use pine needles or sawdust to help the acidity. Also compost being mixed in can help that as well. So the azalea package specifically states to mix this with compost. So that's why I'm going compost heavy on this one. So just so you are aware, where you plant your azalea will depend on your climate. I was told to plant it in a partially shaded area because if it's in full sun all day, the heat may cause the plant to wilt and burn during the summer months. And when it comes to planting, I just followed the instructions our nursery gave me. I dug a hole as deep as the container and then 2 times the width of the root ball. And then I backfilled the hole with 50% compost mix per the instructions. An interesting fact about azaleas that you might need to know is that they're toxic to humans and pets if they're ingested. So if you have a child or an animal that may eat it, maybe look into other options for planting in your yard. Also, it's a good idea to check how big your azalea will be growing before planting, because I read that they can reach up to 20 feet tall depending on the species. The one we are planting says that it will be about 3 foot by 3 foot at full maturity.
Oh, it's really wiggling home, Dad. Here, can I hold it?
And finally, our blackberries. So blackberries prefer full sun, but they can make do in an area that has some shade. The most important thing is to make sure that they have well-draining soil.
Hey, Dad! Come look at this. It's a colony of ants. There's eggs in it.
Oh, yeah.
After planting and fertilizing these with Job's organic fruit and citrus fertilizer, I'll be letting them do their thing besides watering and training them to grow up our fence and obviously collecting their fruit until fall, when again I will prune the bushes back similar to the blueberries because it does help encourage growth. It's also very important to pay attention on how much you prune your blackberries specifically, because you actually get your berry production on the second year of your blackberry canes, which are their branches essentially. So make sure to leave some of those for your next fruiting season, or you might be sad. During the growing season, it's always a great idea to inspect your plants for disease, pests, or if they need more water. Some common diseases and pests for these specific plants are powdery mildew, spider mites, and aphids. If you're in need of a good resource about how to handle these type of things or how to identify what is going on with your plant, I recommend the Organic Gardener's Handbook of Natural Insects and Disease Control. I'll link it below, an affiliate link with Amazon. Anyways, it was a huge help for helping me identify some issues with my last year's garden. It helps you identify the issue and tells you how to take action so you can try to fix what's going on. So to plant our blackberries, we dug down a little further than suggested. Again, this is because our soil is so hard. And then we backfilled it with enough soil and compost to have both of them about an inch lower than the ground level. We also dug the hole twice the size of the root ball to allow for the roots to be able to grow easier. Also, a good thing to check is if you are growing a species of blackberry that will need a support, such as a trellis or a fence of some type, or if they can hold their own weight. We will be training ours to grow along our fence line. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe and give it a like. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!